Welcome to your class, Happy Hamstrings. Today we will be focusing on our hamstrings and how to soften them as we progress towards the practice. A good hamstring can help you with lower back pains, and that's how important the hamstrings are. It's a very stubborn and a big group of muscle, but we will try our best to melt it and give it some good love. Start by opening your hips and thighs against the wall in a straddle pose. You may adjust your stance with the use of your palms and your hands. You may help yourselves by rotating your feet and helping move your shins by using your fingers. Do what feels good. Remember that towards the practice, only do what feels good and not what looks good. And do not overstretch, as this may lead to more stiff muscles. Try and lean your lower back against the ground. Try and touch your tailbone towards the ground. Open up your legs, deep inhale. And with every exhalation, help your thighs and your hamstring melt towards your straddle pose. At any point of the practice, you feel exhausted or mentally tired, you may bring your knees to your chest and hug yourself into a fetus position. If it feels good, you may remove your hands from your thighs and put them on both sides to help you open up your chest and your heart some more to the sky. Deep inhales and stronger, deeper exhales. You may flex your feet or point your feet, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you feel good towards the pose and your tailbone is reaching the floor. Strong, deep inhales and deeper exhales. Relax your tailbone. Relax the back of your skull. Relax in between your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. And surrender your hamstrings towards your straddle split. As we progress towards the practice, if you can adjust or you feel that you've softened a little bit, you may adjust your stance. Take a few more deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. On your next breath, say goodbye to the pose by bringing both feet up in the air and then come into happy baby, hug your knees, and then slowly come back to a seated position in front of the mat. And then again, open your legs to a straddle pose. Help your fingers, rather help your shins and your hamstrings open up with the help of your fingers. On your next breath, raise both hands up to the sky, inhale, and slowly melt your lower belly and your chest to the ground, bringing down your elbows and looking down, imagining a straight spine from your tailbone going up to the base of your neck. Again, deep inhales and stronger, slower, deeper exhales. Towards the practice, you may practice Ujjayi breathing, which means that your tongue is on the top of your front teeth and imagining your inhales and exhalations sounding like the sound of the waves of the ocean. When you feel that you've melted some more, you may adjust your stance and try and reach your lower belly lower to the ground, your chest lower to the ground, your hands reaching forward, your forehead on the ground, or your chin on the ground. This is a more restorative practice, which means you may adjust your stance as we progress towards the pose. The hamstrings are a very big part, large muscle group below your thighs. And it really helps a lot when we've opened up our hamstrings. On your next breath, if you want to readjust, you may bring again and go down on your elbows. Otherwise, you may stay if you're comfortable in the pose. Take a few deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Feel your thigh muscles melting towards the ground. Two more breaths. Inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale and slowly exhale. On your next breath, say goodbye to the pose by walking your elbows back towards you. Slowly raise your thighs with the help of your hands and bring your knees up. And then we windshield wipe our knees from left to right, bringing back lubrication in your joints, relaxing the pelvis and the hips. On your next breath, you may move perpendicular back to your mat. Take a deep breath, inhale, raise your hands. On your exhale, bring down your hands towards your toes. If you can't reach your toes, you may bend your knees. I can imagine for some, a straight leg will do. Try and bring your lower belly to your thighs in your forward fold. It's very important. If you feel a little bit of pain on your hip joints or hip sockets, release from the pose. Again, windshield wipe your knees side to side. Otherwise, if it feels good, stay in the pose. Stay still. Try and melt your chest towards your knees. Try to bring your belly over your thigh. Imagining the breath go from the base of your spine, your tailbone, coming up on your spine, hitting towards the base of your neck. Feel your breath move up and down, and feel your breath soothe and help you towards relaxing through the pose. If your knees are bent, try and straighten your knees and reach your fingers over the outside of your feet. You may look at your toes or you may look down. There's not really a right or wrong on that note. It's more of just a different. Try and practice the virtue of non judgment. It's just a different target muscle that you trigger if you change your perspective, and it's not necessarily a wrong movement. Deep inhale from the tailbone and exhale, going down back to the tailbone. A few more deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Try and melt your chest over your thighs. Deep inhale from your tailbone going up towards your spine to the base of your neck. And long, deeper exhales from the base of your spine going over your tailbone. Surrender yourself towards the practice, towards the pose. On your next breath, inhale and exhale. Say goodbye to the pose. On your next breath, slowly come up, bringing your chest and your spine straight, bringing your hands at the back, fingers facing your hips, and then moving your hips from side to side. From here, lift your knees up to the sky with the help of your hands. Cross your legs and slowly come down to a forward fold standing. You may sway your hips side to side, shift your body left and right if that feels good. And then bring back your left toe to a 45-degree angle at the back of the mat. Bring back your right foot a little bit forward, adjust your stance, adjust your hips. And then slowly on your exhalations come down and bring your head and your belly towards your right thigh. Do not forget to breathe. Feel free to move, feel free to adjust. Square your hips facing the front of the mat. You may adjust your stance back or a little bit more forward if that feels good. And then from here, try and straighten your legs. From here, press down your left hand and then twist over your right side and send your right arms towards the sky. And then from here, you may bind your right arm over your left waist if that feels good. If not, stay on the pose. On your next breath, bring back your left foot to meet with your right foot. Inhale, look up. Exhale to forward fold. On your next breath, slowly bend your knees and then vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly come up, come up, come up. Open your heart and then take a deep breath. Exhale. Bring down your right foot at the back, 45-degree angle. Inhale. And exhale, bring down your head towards your left shin or your left knee. Adjust your hips facing the front. Again, adjust your feet as you need to. Adjust your stance. Do what feels good. Again, we will do a twist. So bring down your right hand and bring up your left arm towards the sky. You may bind if you've done that in the first part. You may do so again. We won't stay long in this pose. But now please bring down both hands and then slowly step your right foot to meet with your left foot. Take a deep breath. Inhale to flat back. Exhale to forward fold. On your next breath, release the pose. by bringing back your left foot at the back and then bringing down your left knee and then coming into a half split by straightening your right leg in front of the mat. Take a deep breath, inhale and exhale. Fold over your right leg. From here, we will do a low lunge. Take a deep breath, inhale, pulse. Exhale to half split. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale to half split. Inhale to low lunge again. Exhale to half split. Take one more inhale to low lunge. Exhale to half split. Inhale to low lunge. Exhale to half split. Stay in your half split. You may bring down your head towards your left right shin. Adjust again your hips square in front of the mat. Draw your belly in, tuck your belly. On your next breath, we'll shift to our rebound pose, which is a forward fold. So from here, take a low lunge inhale and exhale to half split, and then grab your toes with your right hand and then push it over the right side. Use your left hand and push it over the left side. And again, wiggle your hips. And then from here, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, and then slowly bring your left foot to meet with your right foot in one movement. Inhale to flat back, and then exhale to forward fold. On your next breath, we will do the other side. So sway your hips from side to side if that feels good. You may grab the opposite elbow. Sway left and right, right and left. And then from here, we will bring your right leg at the back. So bring your hands to the ground and then bring your right leg towards the back of the mat. And then bring your right knee over the ground. And then adjust your stance. Deep breath, inhale. Lunge. Exhale to half split. Inhale to low 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 lunge. And lastly, exhale to half split. You may adjust your stance. Bring your hands together with your left foot. Square your hips. Make sure that the right hip is at the same line with the left hip joint. And then bring down your head towards your left shin. If you cannot straighten your leg because your hamstrings are still a bit tight, a little bit of micro bend is okay. Or a little bend is actually okay. As you progress towards your practice, eventually you can straighten your leg, remembering that everything is temporary. So even the pain in your hamstring, even the tightness in your hamstring, it's all nothing but temporary. Deep breaths, inhale and exhale. On your next breath, slowly return to your low lunge by exiting the pose. Inhale, head up. Exhale, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and then bring your right leg to meet with your left foot. Inhale to flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Grab opposite elbows and sway your hips from side to side. And then from here, bring your hands at the back and then clasp them together and then fold again. Reach your arms and hands in front of the mat. And then from here, we will progress to our peak pose splits. So bring your left foot at the back, bring your left knee at the back, adjust your right leg and straighten it. And then from here, you can just move and move and move and adjust your legs. Hands on the ground. If you need a block or a cushion, you may bring a block or a cushion underneath your right thigh. Straighten your legs. Bring up your hands in the air if you can. If not, bring down your hands and your elbows to frame your right foot, and then bring down your head over your shin. Remembering that splits is actually a very, very difficult pose and it would take years of practice. We won't stay long, so bring back your left leg to meet with your right leg. And then from here, bring your right leg at the back. And then again, adjust and move as you need to. You may shift your block or your cushion towards your left thigh if you need to, knowing that one side will always be tighter than the other. And that's okay. You let go of perfection. You may bring your hands up in the air or frame your left leg with your left and right hand and bring down your head over your left shin. As you do this, remember to just breathe. Your exhalations will melt your hamstring. And then from here, if you need a block or a pillow against your left thigh, please do so. We won't be long in this pose. Say goodbye to the pose with another deep inhale and deep exhale. And slowly bring your left foot towards the back. Come down on your knees and take a child's pose. Bring down your forehead towards the ground. And surrender your practice. Surrender and let go of what has been and what's done. Surrender your ego. Surrender the tightness in your hamstring. Deep inhales and slower, deeper exhale. And feel the breath move going to your hamstring. Deep inhale and deeper exhale. On your next breath, slowly exit the pose and then standing up on the side of your mat, which is me facing the camera. Inhale to flat back, exhale to forward fold, and slowly lift your right leg up against the wall in a supported standing split. Push your palms away from the ground, open your shoulders, going towards the outer side, and then bring your left leg leaning against the wall, straight leg. If that's not possible, it's okay. If the knees are bent, it's fine. I mean, it's not as easy as it looks, but it heals you because you're breathing and sending your exhales towards stiff parts of the body. On your next breath, you may shift to the other side by bringing your left leg leaning against the wall. And then again, adjust your stance by bringing your right foot going towards the back of the mat. We won't be here for long. Same on the other side. Breathe towards the pose. And on your next breath, slowly release the pose by bringing down the foot to meet with the other one. And then face the front of the mat. And then from here, just lay down and take a break on your Shavasana And then we will move towards yin for the hips and the hamstrings. Stay here for a while, bring your hands above your head, sway your hips from side to side, hug your knees against your chest, and stay here as I shift the video to the yin practice. You may adjust your mat so the edge of the mat is facing the wall and the top of the mat is facing against the wall. We will move towards a more passive stretching, and it will be yin for the hamstrings. When you're ready, please bring down your butt cheek against the wall and then shift and lean over your right butt cheeks and then the feet facing towards the side of the wall, straight leg, and then just slowly lift it up into a supported forward fold. It is one of the most beautiful yin poses I like because there is not much strain or stress to put into it. It's just you supported over the wall. It is very good for those who are actually very active in running, walking, marathons, and just standing over the course of the day. You may adjust your stance if you need to, sway your hips from side to side. If you cannot straighten your legs, you may adjust your butt cheeks away from the wall so you can achieve a straight legs. If you feel numbness whenever you are in this pose, that's okay. If you stay long in one pose and somehow the blood is having a hard time going and flowing, once you release the pose, the fresh blood will just come to that part of the body. You may place your left hand over your belly and then your right hand over your chest and feel your breath and your heartbeat as you progress towards the practice. We will stay in the pose for around 3 minutes. Sort of like marinating ourselves in a pose, trying to get as much muscle memory as we can. A yin practice, although it's not active and you don't sweat a lot, it actually helps you lengthen and stretch your fascia. A fascia is like a cover after the skin, and it covers the entire physical body. So it is very essential that we stretch and we work on this fascia, because if the muscles are strong and not stretch or stretch, and it would really help if the fascia will adjust with it together with the muscle, the joints, and the ligaments. Take deep inhales and deeper exhales. Same thing that we did on the first part. For every exhalations, try and melt some more. On your next breath, deep inhale, deeper exhale, soften your hips towards the ground. Deep inhale, soften and surrender towards the ground. We are almost done with this pose. So take your last inhalations and exhalations with the pose. And we will progress with our yin for the hamstrings. Deep inhales and slow deep exhales. On your next breath, say goodbye to the pose and bend both knees to a 90-degree angle. Push your feet against the wall and slowly lift up your hips to a supported shoulder stand. You may bring your hands over the base of your hip to support you if this is too strenuous on your shoulders. Adjust your stance if you need to. You may bring down your arms straight, facing towards the back, or you may support yourself with your hand to help your shoulder blades. Bring your right foot up and slowly bend your right foot over your left knee. And then from here, slowly drop down your hips and your pelvis towards the ground, coming into a supported pigeon. Bring down your left leg and your left foot to a 90-degree angle. If you want some more, you may bring down your left foot lower and lower and lower. Otherwise, you may stay in the pose. You may bring your right hand to little bit push your right knee. Don't over push it. Remember, this is a yin class and we are trying to get a more passive approach to the practice. You will of course feel it on your right hamstring. And melt and surrender towards the practice. A yin practice is a lot of mind control. It is a practice where your patience is actually tested. How long can you keep your mind still? Again, if you need to adjust your left foot lower, we've melted down for a minute already. So if you want to adjust your left foot lower to increase your range, you may do so. In yoga, we have a saying called Stiram Sukham Asanam, which means ease over effort. Be mindful with your breathing. Check if your inhales are shorter than your exhales. And try and send your exhalations towards body that needs more love. Stay focused, stay breathing, stay still. If you're feeling a numbness and you want to release from the poses, feel free to do so again with a happy baby, or bring your knees over your chest to a fetal position. Sway your hips from side to side. We won't be here for long. Say goodbye to the pose. Inhale and longer exhales. Deep breath, inhale, and slow, deeper exhales. Deep inhale and slower, deeper exhale. On your next breath, release the cross of your leg and bring both feet together. And again, raise your hips high to a supported shoulder stand. As we previously did, you may bring your hands under your hips and support your shoulders by using your hand against your lower waist. Deep breath, inhale and exhale. On your next breath, you may bring your left foot over your right knee. And slowly drop down your hips on the ground with the help of your hands. Be careful not to hurt yourself as you move and transition towards poses. Adjust your stance if you need to. Try and look for that sweet spot. You may bring your left hand over your left knee to help you. And again, you may adjust your foot lower if you need to. I love to place my hands over my belly so I can feel my breath progress. Mindful breathing is a thing that we don't do a lot over our daily lives. So in this 50-minute class, at least I've helped you breathe constantly, very, very slowly. With every exhalation, melt your tailbone towards the ground. Deep inhales and deeper exhales. Relax your tailbone and melt your tailbone towards the ground. Bring your exhalations over your spine. Relax your shoulder blades. Relax the base of your ribs. Relax your jaw. Relax in between your eyebrows. And relax the base of your skull. Slow, deep inhales. Slow, deeper exhales. As you progress towards the practice, you may adjust your foot, go lower, tailbone go lower. Deep inhales and deeper exhales. We won't be here for long, maybe 5 breaths. Try and count your breathing if you can to know how long your breaths are. Take a deep breath. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On your next breath, say goodbye to the pose. Slowly move your left foot to meet with your right foot over the wall. And again, do a rebound and support yourselves from a shoulder stand, bringing your hands over the back of your waist and the top of your hip. Slowly bringing back fresh blood over the hip sockets and the hamstrings. And then from here, slowly drop down your hips, your tailbone. Adjust your stance if you need to. And then make the soles of the feet meet each other. And then slowly drop down your feet, going down over your pelvis into a supported Barakonasana or a supported butterfly pose. You may bring both hands on top of both knees and slightly, gently just push your thighs over both sides to open up your pelvis some more. As you progress towards one pose in Yin, you may adjust your stance. In Yin, we are more conscious to really bring our inhales and exhales over certain parts of our body that needs more air and oxygen. If this is your first time to practice yoga and you feel that's actually an impossible task, you can actually use your mind to imagine that the breaths are going through those parts of the body which actually needs more oxygen. We won't be here for long. We're almost through with the pose. Take 3 more breaths. Deep inhale. Slower, deeper exhale. On your next breath, slowly release from the pose by helping your knees to come together and raising both legs up in the air. And then hug your knees against your chest. And then from here, bring down your both knees over the left side and bring down your right hand over the right side and do a supported twist. Your knees may be bent or you may straighten your legs if that feels good. You may support it with your hand. Actually, you don't even need a wall for this easy twist, but having the butt cheek and the tailbone against the wall kind of feels good for your alignment. But try and feel the spinal twist happening. And then from here, slowly come up and then shift towards your right side. Help your knees go towards the right side and then bring your left arm towards the left side. Come into a supported easy twist. Send your exhalations over your spine to deepen your spinal twist. We won't be here for long. We're almost at the end of our practice. This is the last pose. Take a few more breaths in this pose. Supported, easy spinal twist. And then from here, slowly bring back consciousness over your legs. And then bring your legs up in the air, over the wall. And then you may bring both hands on top of you or on your side, palms facing the sky, into your supported Shavasana, our last pose. You may stay here for as long as you need to, remembering to relax your tailbone, relax your belly, relax your lower ribs, relax your chest, relax your shoulder blades, relax your jaw, relax your ears, relax in between your brows, and lastly, relax your skull. You may stay here for as long as you need to. And release your Ujjayi breath and come back to your normal breathing. When you're ready and done with your Shavasana, you may join me by bending your knees over your chest and then moving towards the right side of your mat and supporting yourself with your eyes closed. Come down to a seated position on the mat. Bring your hands over your forehead. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.